in sight. I feel as though time has been stolen from me. The memories that I locked in the corners of my conscious are flooding back into the forefront of my mind, my dreams, and there's no stopping it. I've held resentment against Titus and Victus for continuing to let my father live within the walls of Juramentum, and I will never forgive the city for that. I've endured it for 8 winters, and I will continue to do so outside those walls. Seeing his hands and the side of his face, the sesterce, it has completely shaken me. Did Adrian see me almost die at my father's hands as well? Or the assassination attempt on me? Was he involved? Or did he dream these things? What else has he seen? Are these the only drawings? He obviously started younger and continued. The sketches have gotten better. Weisa said the image of the woman was me, but I do not believe such things. She is too beautiful to be me. And the vial of something in this journal, if you can even call that a journal. Another attempt at assassination? My mind is reeling. I can feel his eyes on me. It's like a thread of mana that connects us, or just the dreams and the visions. His eyes. I can't get the gray eyes out of my head. I haven't slept well and I continue to surge in confusion. We are close to home now, and I need the counsel of Livia. I'm frightened.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. Whew. And the Fellowship pulls up blessedly in front of the western gate. Second Sergeant Emilius turns to you almost immediately, as soon as propriety would allow. Drops his head. Domini, if I may be excused from your service, having rendered it honorably.
You may.
Thank you. And he heads right to the gate. There's for those of you who would pay attention to such a thing, there's a comely lass awaiting him at the gate. Although their interaction is a little distant, he actually tips his head to her and then just keeps walking inside. Crestfallen, she doesn't really try to hide her face, turns around and follows him inside. The rest of the decury disperses, of course, all bowing to you, minus Corporal Salai. All right, what is everyone, as you make it back home, what is everyone doing?
Wasn't he attending Lady Vale?
Yeah, okay, minus
okay,
Light, he's gone.
Okay,
yeah.
Misunderstood.
So presumably, unless something crazy happened, Lady Vale and Corporal Salai and Adrian all made it here several days ago. At a much quicker pace than y'all could manage with the 30 civilians.
Domine, I may be excused for a torch or so. I need to go home.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
See you in a minute.
Merick literally runs off at a pretty quick pace to Jasmine.
Okay, legs as quick as his Kithki legs will carry him. You're taking the procession inside. I'm assuming you're Randy, I'm assuming or Marcus, I'm assuming you're sticking.
Okay. Civilians will be coming with me.
We're still tied to the kids.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things.
Oh, literally. No, that's true.
There's a lot of things to see here, and I'm just like, no,
that's true.
We're all sticking together for the moment.
The adults have instinctually of your party, of your kith and kin now, have instinctually shrunk together. The kids, of course, are trying to branch out, and they want to see, they want to grab, they want to do.
No. Marcus, keep an eye on the children. Kithki, might be quite confusing. What's that?
Well, they're still taught, Domine.
Thank goodness.
Yes.
Good call.
Weisa, what are you doing?
What time of day is it?
Now it's getting on, past high sun, before evening.
Weisa is so happy to be home. And she decides to take a stroll with whoever wants to join Catherine.
And Catryns gonna run to the hut.
Okay. You have something awaiting you there.
Ooh. Nili?
Hi, child.
Would you like to take a walk?
We need to talk.
Oh.
Shall we take a walk into the Kithki Gardens?
I'd love that.
Hi. So they're just gonna walk this way, slowly, to the Kithki Gardens.
Okay. As you go inside, the watchful eyes of Figulasneus on from the porch of the hut that's only about 35 feet away from the western gate. Watch you go in. As you're about to go in, calls out, "You got a visitor. And you're still breathing. Great." And as you run up onto the...
Who's the visitor?
Don't know.
What does he look like?
She?
Yep. Okay.
Yep, you're definitely breathing. He gets up and you can feel the air pressure change to indicate that whatever field of force that keeps the hut inviolate is momentarily down. Walks in. Back. Are you following him, or are you going to stay on?
I followed him.
Okay. All right. So you're back. You're back inside. I guess I'll stick with you for a bit, Catherine.
Turn on the light.
The hut.
No, it's closed now.
Oh.
Sorry.
Is the light representing it's on or off?
Yeah, you get to decide. Do you want the light
Turn it
on?
on.
I would say if it's closed, we'll keep it off. But
And then open
is
when
on.
it's on as kind of like an alert or an
Yeah.
alarm. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
sorry, missed the opportunity.
Missed,
Four
yeah,
weeks,
it was
guys.
close. It was close.
Super Saiyan check.
Make a real life persuasion check. It's too late for that. So,
Dang.
God, Donnie.
Been a long road.
So he shuffles. Your mentor shuffles in this figure of legend who, well, the people in the know think of him as a figure of legend. To almost everybody else, he's just kind of some dusty, wild, shriveled up old guy who's, looks about 5'5", looks like a stiff breeze could blow him over. He's got a filthy beard, tangled, dusty clothing, all that well-worn rope sandals. I mean, he could easily pass as an itinerant beggar, Catherine, if he had a bowl and didn't have any other accoutrement.
And she knows.
So,
And he probably still smells.
oh yeah, yeah. Although to him, it's honest field stench. So you walk in, and of course you've been gone for a number of days, so you know what's gonna happen.
I see you've been keeping the hut clean.
Damn straight.
No, you haven't. And she's gonna start picking things up.
Okay. He started a new hide collection.
No. I told you not to do this. You did this months ago.
Yep. But look, we got some more Arpo hide, and
That's not. Why are you excited?
as he gestures, and the hide. Hey, Catherine, and he makes the Arpo paw come up a little bit.
This is why you don't have friends.
Yeah, overrated.
That's why. Yeah, right.
Overrated. What do you want to do in there?
She's gonna take off the backpack and put it in the kind of area that she sleeps.
I'm doing it.
I love it. And she's gonna kind of scan the room and see who's here.
In the hut?
Yeah. Did you say?
Oh, visitor.
Oh, visitor, as in.
Visitor looks to be off yonder.
Okay. Can I see said visitor?
You see a shape, probably the form of a compact woman, off at the tree line. And for some reason, you can now remember that there is a grove right past that tree line, which you could not remember before.
Okay. So, who's here to see me? You said I had a visitor.
Well, I said there was a visitor, yeah.
What did they want?
And he's actually trying to drink something and then puts it down, tries to drink, puts it down. Go get the construct. When you're ready to deal with her. She'll need your help.
The construct.
Golem, thing, lifeless thing, breathed life into, like that. The silver thing that's been in our garden.
Oh, She has a name.
She does?
You can't be that dim. Please. Nilishli?
Oh, that's her name? Really?
She can speak. She's smart.
Okay, all right.
She's been here for 2 years, and you She goes out of the hut.
Okay.
Are you kidding?
Make a perception roll.
Selective memory.
He's awful. Oh my god. 18.
You hear him laughing in the hut. And then
He knows what he did.
And then as soon as you turn around, he's back to in his seat. Okay, so you're going out. Meanwhile, you guys have a head start on her as you go into the bustle of the city, and even wouldn't say that Nilishli is unremarkable now, but she is a familiar sight in Juramentum. So no alarms raised, thankfully here. As you're walking down that main path, you have your best gal pal with you.
Silver.
Your sister in arms, and yeah, no doubt there are definitely some Kithki children who watch you, and some of them are running around you as you go. Every so often, one of them will try to take the bolder ones every so often one of them will try to take your hand because you're familiar and warm. Every so often you'll get one of the bolder ones who tries to take your hand. What do you do when they're behaving like that?
Is it an individual child or is it a group of children?
Like a pack of Kithki kids.
A pack of kit. Okay. I think
Say that 10 times quickly.
a pack of Kithki kids.
Yeah.
The red puppy guy.
I think Nilishli would probably lovingly swat the children. Lovingly, top of the head, away. But like not in a voice that would scare them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they give you just a little bit. That means just more on you, of course.
That's all right. I'm so pleased to be back.
They climb. One of the rougher boys tries to climb on you. Don't pull her braids. She's gonna make us go away. No, she won't.
Weisa's just amused.
You're just soaking it up.
It's just lovely to be around warmth and kindness and things that feel more simple.
You pass by. They feed off of that. They soak the kids soak that in. Almost all the Kithki in the town know who you are because of your peddling wares ways, and so they're smiling. Oh, look, the tasty lady's back.
I'm out of treats today, but
we know you just got back. One of them, one Kithki healer runs down from the healing hall. She says, "You're always giving us stuff, so here's a bunch for you." And she hands you a bunch of dried Colin fruit chips.
blessed be.
She says, "These are the ones that have nutmeg, and these are the ones that are cooked with honey, and these are the ones that are plain."
I feel incredible to be back amongst all of you. Thank you so much.
She gives you a big hug, and no. As some of the children's hands try to go into the bags to eat.
I give them a few.
Of course, sure. Okay, so y'all are continuing along. You do the one thing I'll say before you kind of wander off on your own is that we're not at the arbor yet. We're still in public. See, those darn Kithki kids just couldn't make it there in time. So for those of you who haven't seen this before, this is a public scene. This is a semi-public, and then this one of Catryns in the Ruins is a private scene. So that there's no doubt about what's going on. All right, so yeah, I'll say that you see his procession, which of course travels more slowly than you as individuals. Marcus's, yes, ma'am. Procession. It slows down as it gets to the healing hall. Mm-hmm. You see it turn and start to filter in. You can see the people of Pullock. So you've come to know at this point, pretty much all of them. Yeah, mm-hmm. I think so. Mm-hmm. Pretty much all of them. It was a large group, but still small enough that after four in half or so days of travel, you would have had a chance to, and of course you were watching the children just as vigilantly as anyone else. You see that you can read their uncertainty now, Weisa, as they're standing and they're kind of looking at this unfamiliar architecture, which in some ways looks inviting because it's tiny sized, but in other ways, of course, is foreign. Mm-hmm. Some of the more confident ones are even like playing with some of the architecture and smelling the leaves that are growing off of the Kithki homes. Do you want to just kind of note that and continue on your way with Nilishli, or are you going to double back?
No, I just almost tear up a little bit, just remembering my experience coming to Juramentum and feeling the foreignness of it, but knowing how welcoming it really is. And I know they'll be fine.
They're safe.
They'll be fine.
They're safe. Okay. So let me stick with y'all a little bit longer then. As you go along, you go past the sparring pits that you know so well, archery ranges, which you become quite adept at in a very short amount of time, through some Dewshine homes, and you're now in the relative privacy of the Kithki Arbor.
Weisa, shall we spar and talk?
Sure. Why not?
What weapon?
I would love to just get better with my staff.
Aye.
And you?
I stay with my sickle.
Aye. What do you choose to talk about?
She pulls her sickle out. She immediately comes so quick on Weisa.
The Silver Lady's being crazy. Come and watch.
Weisa, I can't stop thinking about and a feeling that I'm getting since we've been away.
And you have your staff and you're hopping back and keeping her at range and trying to trip her. Okay, all right.
Kind of like, I feel like I'm like, maybe she's laboring, breathing more, but I'm like just calmly talking with the sickle at the same time.
That checks.
Awesome.
So intimidating.
It's so
It's very calming for me. Let's do this.
I can't stop thinking about Tezcatli and her appearance to us in the last days, and the appearance of this person coming from Roth. I have a feeling something is going on that we need to investigate. Have you received any information, any visions, anything else to tell you what could possibly be going on north?
Nili, I don't have all the answers, but it sounds like some deep magic. It sounds like things that are beyond my knowledge, but I'm happy to investigate with you. I'm sure we can, with our powers and our connection to the spirits, I'm sure we can find out more.
How shall we get our answers questioned?
I wonder if Livia knows anything. She's quite learned, and she might have some knowledge. And maybe Figulus does as well. Your ward.
Figulus is a taciturn man. But maybe he does know. Maybe he does know more.
He may be a bit sour, but he cares and knows very much.
Maybe an option before we sit with Figulus, and they're still sparring, and the sickle is still going.
Yeah.
Maybe the option before we sit with Figulus is to...
You're drawing a crowd now.
How many people are there watching?
Almost all Kithki, maybe 7 or 8.
Okay.
And more starting to wander in.
Okay. And do we notice them, or like is it easy to see them?
You don't notice them.
I notice
you
them.
You notice them though, because of what you are.
Okay.
To you, this is just another day at the office. It's fun.
Shall we sit in commune with Tezcatli again, both you and I together?
I'm feeling near some water. That might be really powerful. I'd love to do that with you.
Aye. When shall we plan this?
Awakening is near.
Yeah.
How many days is awakening?
6 days off.
Okay.
Awakening could be a very powerful day to sit with her. What do you think?
Aye. Awakening it is. And she just continues.
Okay. I want to see make attack rolls again. Let me see how you're doing.
Come on, Dice, be with me today. Be my friend.
Please be equal.
Yes. What do I add to this again?
+5.
20 Math Alley. 22.
22.
Ooh.
An 8.
An 8. All right.
No equals this time.
So this time you're on it, and with a decisive stomp, you trap. Even as you're saying yes, you trap the quarterstaff under your sandaled foot, and then shoulder check her into some bushes.
Hard.
Good one.
So, yeah, anytime she can get her power on you, you're going to lose that fight. So yep. You're
That's
like, all right,
fine.
good.
That's fine with
Good.
me.
Got to circle a little better. Got to be a little craftier.
Good.
All right. So the main procession now, as you go in.
I'd like to take a moment to say that Marcus is one of the touchers of the architecture, not just the kids.
Okay.
He's just like, oh, boy, look at this. Look at this. Is that elderberry? Because he's just like pointing out.
It is, Ubs. It is.
That's growing on the building.
Your wife is looking around, and no one's here to take it from us.
I guess not. Let's not take it from them yet, just yet. There.
Well met, young lord. Always good to have you back. One of the older sergeants says.
Yeah.
Back and bows.
Is there a page for me? Have my guests arrived prior to our arrival?
I can find out, Domini, if you'd like.
Please send for word to Titus and Livia. I'll be bringing a few persons to the keep for a discussion.
The Emerald-haired patrician?
Yes.
Yes, she arrived with her charges.
I know, I mean, additional, important guests of Juramentum.
Of course.
Thank you.
He runs. And you get...
Don't steal the elderberry.
You get that same greeting about 20 times.
Yes, good to see you as well. Oh, well, fantastic. My lord. Lord, I get it here.
No, you can't do that. The doubles don't do that. One of the kith children tries to grab your hand and pull you off to play.
Yeah, not right now. I lean back to Marcus. I'm like, the my lord thing, it actually doesn't get old. And just keep walking. It's like as a quick joke.
Are you going to drop off
I was going to have
the folks from Pollux at the healing hall and continue on, or are you going to see them settled in first?
I was going to have Marcus accompany me if he's comfortable with leaving his people at the healing hall.
Yeah, he'll take a minute to think about that, but he feels pretty safe here at the moment.
My lord, can I borrow my husband a flicker?
Absolutely.
She pulls in. She starts heading toward the far side of the healing hall. You can see her shaking. She draws in a shuddering breath.
I'll take her hand.
And then she starts running across the hall. And very quickly you see sitting up in an oversized yep.
Is that me, boy? It's me, boy!
He
Start running to him.
Livius.
We're running. We're just running to him. If our family, my immediate family, is like tied to us, we're going to be scooping him up and taking him with.
I'm remembering how you left him. So, and what a terrible choice that was. So your wife Alba has lost it, Marcus. She's still running. The three of you, and then the three people, and then the three children tied to you, all collapse in.
Yeah, a family group hug as much as tight as you can get it.
And you have just a weeping, laughing. Your wife keeps saying, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." Yeah, but she's still holding him, kissing him, and
I'm kissing the top of his head and just really kicking him to me because it's like, as far as I know, he could have been dead, and here he's alive and healthy. It looks like.
There are tears. Oh yeah, there are tears in his eyes, but mainly there's just red rising in his cheeks as the Kithki healers who have so expertly tended him these past, since this ordeal began. I guess it's been 8 days now ago, since the attack or so. Since this ordeal began, they actually start applauding. And some of them come over and, we're so happy for you. We're so happy. See, your parents came. Your seppu came. They all came. They're all here. Now you're safe.
I just look down and be like, thank you so much.
Of course.
I just want to touch him some more, just like shoulder, head, or everything, just to make sure that he's fine.
You can feel him. You can smell him. Your son is alive, Marcus. Your son is alive. And you didn't know if you were. Not only if you were ever going to see him again, but not to put too fine a point of it, if you and your wife were yourselves consigning him to death.
Yeah.
Because you were the ones who sent him north, always north, in the first place. And by some miracle, not only did he make it here, but help made it back in time to prevent all of you from dying. Because in your bones, it would have taken a while, but none of you would have made it out of Pollux without help.
Titus is going to lean in, and he kind of sees this reunion going on. Whisper over the sergeant, like, give him a few torches and accompany him to the keep when he's ready, but allow this to go as long as they need.
Are you addressing the senior
sergeant?
The sergeant. Okay.
The sergeant, letting them do, and then I'll continue on.
Hi, Domini. And that. So eventually, you have the healing hall just swamped with your kith and kin. And finally, the senior healer on duty says, "All right, our hearts burst with love and our beds burst with Double's feet. So, what we're going to do is all of you are going to move over here, and we're all going north. We're all going north. We're all going north." Your son starts laughing almost uncontrollably at that. Like it strikes him as far funnier than it should, that she's talking about north. Everyone's going north. So you filter out of the northern door into this beautiful, honestly to your eyes, it looks like a freaking paradise. And if you look on the map, Randy, there's this ring of homes, of Kithki homes that are around it.
That's brilliant.
And you see these walkways that cover all around. Now they're at Kithki height, so you're a tall man, so you have to duck under to get there. Otherwise you'd beam yourself. But you're inside of this ring. The Kithki families are coming out. To stay on top of this, the Kithki families are coming out unbidden. You're strangers here, and yet they're coming out with fruit. They're coming out with smoked fish. They're coming out with all manner of vegetables and other provender. Y'all are gonna eat just fine.
It's time to untie the children.
Okay.
Because this kind of reception is just like,
Some of the older kids were either already untying themselves or. That is so funny. That's a 1 in 400 chance. I just rolled 2 20s. Okay, so one of them palmed a little healing knife when they were in the hall, and your sister grabs onto him and says, "You don't need that here." And he kind of reluctantly puts it down. Right.
On that note, I'm gathering up everybody. As soon as they're all there, we all guess here. We don't take nothing without it first being offered. You say thank you. You say please. You do all the things that you know you're supposed to do. As I'm talking to all the little ones.
Yeah.
You know what you're supposed to do. So do it.
You see these earnest eyes looking back at you. Some more trustworthy than others. I mean, you know these kids.
Right.
You know the adults, too. All right, that's where I'll leave that group for the nonce.
And is heading to the keep.
So, Titus, Merick, and Who else did you bring?
Yeah, Merick.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You ran to Jasmine.
I
Yeah.
had that, and then I saw the kind of reunion, and I'm
All
like,
right. Sorry. I'm so used to you being you guys being
It's the only time we
with
did
each
that.
other. Yeah. No. Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, so it's just actually I'm alone, just walking up to.
That's a rare.
Oh my
That's a rare thing for you. Just briefly, Corey, when you actually don't even make it back to the compound because as soon as news traveled, which was before you guys hit here, before you actually hit the western gate, so probably about the time you're at the midwife's hut, Jasmine is waiting there for you, and she runs up to embrace you.
My love. I definitely embrace her. I need your touch. Your vision is what kept me from going in, knowing that you're here and my seppu is here.
We always will be, Merick.
The nightmare. I met the lady in my nightmare.
She slips her hand into yours.
I did not know such a thing existed. Thought she was in my dream when I almost left this world.
Wait. She looks around and starts kind of. There's not really privacy, but she pulls you off the path. You met her?
The voice, her speaker, called the voice of something as big as, I'm not sure as big as the Great Mother, but definitely she comes when blood is spilt.
Husband, you're talking. She gets
Rough.
close to you. You're talking. She looks around. There's a lot of fear with that name,
Yes.
especially for the Shireborn.
Darker. He was in Ilkanda.
Yeah,
Ilkanda. Darker born. Darker kind.
I understand. Why, though? What does she have to do with you or Juramentum?
I do not believe it's. She's not directly aligned only to our worst half. She and Roth come when there's war, when blood is shed over war. Not natural death.
Granny Touchgem would say that all death is natural.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't understand this. Maybe you can find out more.
I can ask, but you should talk to Granny. You probably both should.
And then there's this lady, the Utini. I found out they were Gosh, I don't know if I know that or not right now. I don't think I do. Never mind.
So it was the Utini? At Pollux?
There were Utini at the Pulix, and there were presence of them. They were not there when we arrived, but there definitely was. They were leaving.
And yet so many survived? And she points, you're close enough to the healing hall. It's down, but you can see this gathering now. They're probably with the folks from Pollux and the people from Juramentum. I mean, they're probably close to 70 people over there now.
having a party.
Yeah, it's spilling. It's just one of the. Hey, this is a kith quarter. It's spontaneous parties happen.
Merick really bends over in Alaconda. There's a man who can channel Quaelathon and bring back life. I saw it with my own eyes.
A human granny? Does he have the old power then?
I believe so. Not as we define it, because that is a kithki, but similar.
I didn't even know that was possible, husband.
I haven't heard of it in my lifetime.
Do you need to go back to the compound, or can you walk with me?
I can walk for you a little. Maybe we should see Granny first. I was given a torch or so before I needed to return.
We're trying to finish there was some crumbling on the north wall. My crews, we're trying to finish it. We're trying to finish the repairs right now. So
notice the repair on my back.
Oh my gods. How could I have been so blind? Okay, so there was violence. Not Utini though. And she checks out the weird, well, actually most of it's healed now, so it's, yeah.
There, I don't understand, and Catherine might know. I haven't had a chance to speak to her. Let's just say some will worker from a long distance, not lightning, like Granny can do, but somehow tore my back with something. I don't even know what it was. Maybe Granny will know.
I know you can handle yourself, Merick, but merciful goddess, I hate the idea of you living a life of violence, having to live a life of violence. Although Granny Dushine says violence or calm are always choices.
What was worse is she seemed to be in charge of the Utini, like she was above them.
A woman Utini now.
I did not see her.
Makes sense.
It was not a woman. It was not even Utini, I don't believe. She sounded differently. I heard her speak.
All right, well, that's above my pay grade.
I don't understand it. I just know the Utini were
She tugs at
under
your
her
hand.
command.
She tugs at your hand and you start walking. Welcome home, Merick. One of the watchtower or archery tower.
He gives him a nod.
Okay, so to you.
I just love it. Everyone has this reception. It's just Titus walking alone. It's great. Just walking alone. Hello. That whole thing all the way.
You get through. It gets a little bit less intense as you near the keep. You do. Let's see. It's now late enough. It's not twilight yet, though. So some of the stalls are still open.
I'm just greeting everyone. Hello. Just
Okay.
typical.
You get through.
As if I never left the city. Just to stroll through.
Okay. The gate. SOP now, standard operating procedure, is the gate to the keep typically open or is it typically closed?
Typically ajar, ready to be closed.
Okay, ajar and ready to be. Gotcha. So,
especially when the Lord's out.
Hail, Lord Titus, Metellus, Glabrio Vorn!
Oh.
Some junior achiever who's never greeted you back.
Gives
you the full. He pops tall, and all 3'2" of him.
It's good to be king.
Thank you.
You go into the courtyard. Immediately. Actually, let me see if. Your favorite is there. So Lepidus Minor comes charging over to you. Domini! And he tries to bear hug you.
Yeah, I'm like, stop him right there.
Okay.
He's like, good to see you too, friend. Yeah. I need to go some business with my sister. We'll catch up later.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great to see you.
Yeah.
Told you be there when, Elrio, see them later as well.
Yeah, of course, my lord.
There's a party down there, if you want to go and check it out. Right by the healing hall.
The short people. Yeah, they have good stuff.
Short people, yes.
So he runs.
he's still this.
Yeah.
Short. Yeah.
So when you're stopping him at the shoulders, it's more like more.
I'm
more
like
that.
kneeling down to stop him. Yeah. Because he's like a barrel. He's a dwarf.
He's kind of a dwarf. Yeah. He's not actually a dwarf, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you go into the keep, and of course the keep has completely different feel. It's cool. It's serene, almost. It's quiet.
Yeah, just walking in, business as usual, taking off bracers, taking off armor, all that kind of stuff. Just walking in regularly, and then just kind of like waiting to see where Livia and everyone is.
As you go up toward the place she's most likely to be, her office, you hear, "Oh, that's most interesting, Philodemus. So let me understand then. I'm to understand. You paved the roads, you raised the walls, and now you'd like to profit from both of them. Oh, and while we're at it, you also founded the fishery, and you caused the docks to be constructed. Am I following you thus far?"
"Well, that's not precisely how I would put it, Domina.
But," she says, "say no more. I understand. Your generosity knows no bounds, Master Merchant. And...
Swing those doors
Okay,
open.
yes.
Like, Flabby, good to see you, but I will see you later. And I just want to shake his hand. Oh, it's always welcome back in the keep. Always a great pleasure.
but I...
So good seeing you. You'll have an appointment tomorrow. He's closing behind him. Yeah.
Wow, you just bum rushed Philodemus. Okay. Yeah.
Always a pleasure. All right,
You bypass.
Kind of how we always deal with them.
You bypassed about 10 minutes of pain that we were going to do on camera, but no, that's fine.
I'll see you later. Yeah.
You can hear him miserably give the door one miserable paw.
Yeah.
Kind of his meaty paw up against the door and then slide down.
And then you want to hear like, I believe that your appointment has ended. Like two of the guards just kind of follow. We'll see you out. So, like they're very kind and very like, oh God, they do this all the time kind of thing.
Livia looks up at you. You see her surrounded by contracts, inks, quills, maps, some contraption that you've never seen before, but some sort of counting aid. And she also has another new thing is she has tokens, which you think are to represent X amount of bushels of wheat that she has stacked in different places.
And as she's still sitting, I want to walk over to the table and be like, well, that would have been boring. Good to see you again, sister. Yeah.
Brother.
Always.
You see that sparkle in her eyes and that smile that's for you and for you alone.
Yeah. I'll walk over, give her a hug.
She stands up, and this hug, she takes all the time in the world, and for some people it would be uncomfortably long, but this is how it is betwixt you and the person that you shared a womb with.
Yeah.
Her
Orphans, man.
Your twin sister.
Yep.
Finally, you kind of, with that twin telepathy, let each other go at the same time. She holds on to one of your hands. How was it?
Very interesting.
Casualties?
None.
Remarkable.
There's something more remarkable than that. Was there any mention of it by the guest, Lady Vale?
Lady Vale. Lady Lucretia Tarquinia Demisha Vale. I have much to tell you about that. She was... No, still here.
Okay.
She said she was bound. She had apparently sworn an oath to you that she would wait until
Just her
your
word.
return.
I just didn't want grandfather to be grandfathering like he typically does.
Oh, well, he's been working that. Don't worry.
That's why I'm glad she kept her word.
In fact... Oh, you first.
No, go ahead.
I should wait. It's not proper to ambush you upon your return. I'll just say I found some... When the moment is right, I was looking into our Grand Dame's journals, and I found a passage that is disturbing. And, well, I'd like your advice as to how to proceed on it, but it can wait. It's nothing pressing. It's waited for 30 years, 30 winters. It can wait longer.
Can you wait? Or can it? Tell me. And then I'll sit down next with her. Like, tell me about that.
Brother, my life wasn't just in danger. I didn't confront Utini. And...
But just Utini. Phlebotomus is more threatening and more annoying.
Philodemus, brother. Philodemus.
Flubby is what I've always called him. He was the one who took me away from Juramentum.
Oh, I know, and
Call me Cavalier.
I know, and I'm the one whose bare bottom got switched for pretending to be you.
You're the one who had to take care of all this too, so consider us even.
It seems like such a trivial thing, but you know how Grandsire is always on about honor and dignitas and truth. Part of our Grand Dame's will, her will, was that, well, you know Julius Metellus and that entire story, and...
Is this about the crypt?
Yes. And about who should be buried there and who should not. And the fact that apparently the person that Julius Metellus loved most in this world is barred because of, well, for several reasons. You already know.
This was something that was brought up to me a while back, but our grandmother valued love more than our grandfather in certain respects.
In every respect, I should say. I've been dealing with him day and night.
Yeah, aside from that. What do you make of it?
Well, it's difficult, the situation, and I still need to see what the law is on it. The thing is that I know this seems a silly thing. We're trying to make a jurisprudence here, one that will stand the test of time, something that doesn't become corrupted the way that the old empires has, irrevocably. And ergo, the decisions that we make here about who may be buried with whom and why will be lasting. His legacy is us, and this will be ours, at least partially, pending our survival.
Well, pending our survival, we will be law. And we can make and honor those of our grand dame, as opposed to our grandsire.
We must step carefully.
Agreed.
The Kuint have different traditions than those who were here for the diaspora of the old empire.
Juramentum has different traditions, and we get to make our own traditions.
This is something that has never existed.
Neither is Juramentum.
So the first question I must find is, can a plebeian be buried with a patrician? And then we will see if a man can be buried with a man.
Well, is mother buried with father? Is brother in arms buried with brother in arms? The law can be built to the way that we see fit.
The difficulty is they were not married.
Do I need to be married to be in love?
No, but a discussion for another time.
I believe you know how I stand.
I do. Thank you. To be honest, I'm afraid to go to him myself with this. I try to be brave, but he is formidable, as you know.
We will go together. If not, we'll make time.
I am deeply grateful to the Lord of Light for giving me thee, and I hope you can say the same.
Couldn't say anything better. Speaking of the Lord of Light, how long ago was it that he had a miracle in Terra?
By canon? Better than 2 centuries.
Yeah.
Better than 2 centuries now. And even that is difficult to verify. It's so far back in what constitutes a miracle, and etc., etc. Why?
I've seen 2 in a 10-day.
That's what that sneaky woman was talking about.
Sister, calm down, please.
My gods, does she know
I
her?
heard she was not the one to dispel disinformation. I told her not to tell it.
She technically didn't lie to me, but she certainly didn't give me the unvarnished truth.
Sorry, we're the only predictions that we can discuss with. She is better at the cunning of words than we are.
Yes, I'm beginning to see that.
She...
And to think I thought I was circumlocuting about the business. Well...
That's a big word.
My favorite type.
Yeah.
No, she's enormously well-read, and when you're ready, I, of course, had a copy of the correspondence that she was attempting to...
Of the annexation.
You know that, too?
Yeah. It's very odd to be in this situation with you this time, Livia. I feel like I know more than you.
I know!
I kind of love this.
I kind of hate it.
Oh, man. But let me just... A moment. 2 centuries of...
She's
first time in all of our lives that I know more than you yet.
She throws a scroll at you.
I can't read it anyway. Nor do I want to.
I'm certain she must. She wasn't being terribly careful. She must know that a copy would be made and arrive upon my desk.
Yes.
So we're going to be annexed then. Now, technically, this is only about the church, but with the church comes the legions. It's what one is hand in glove with the other.
True, but we have a vestige of the church that is actually real, that performed a miracle, that they've been clinging onto by building their legions, their churches, their ruling, their money. We actually have something that I've seen, I've believed in. Pulling a soul and saving a child.
I thought this is dangerous talk. Even for us.
So is us having this
Even for you.
entire city. If you were to see it, I've never, even things as crazy as Nilishli, paled in comparison to saving a life and pulling a soul back.
You saw this with your own eyes.
Yes. There was plenty to see it as well. It was magnificent.
And it wasn't the sort of working the Catryns can do. Trick the senses.
If hers is of a river, his was of a soul. I've never.
We're not going to be able to talk our way out of this, are we? Grandsire's trying to make allegiances now. We're talking about my betrothal. It's not going to happen. Not with the church against us as well. And they have to destroy whatever this is, or their own legitimacy is called into question.
They can't destroy it.
Oh, yes, they can, and they will.
I don't know. It's above all of men.
Does this gift, this miracle, does it reside in a man? As she intimated, as Lady Vale intimated.
A father, of a leader, of the most...
With a body.
Every father. Like
with
everything.
With a body.
A body, yes.
A body that can be decapitated or hanged.
I would do everything to stop that.
Noted. So would I, for the record. However, they will not see this as a miracle, brother. I assure you. They will see this as a challenge and a threat, and an existential one at that. You must know that.
I know. But that's what it's worth. It's worth to fight, defend, on every single aspect of this world. I've seen evil, but I've never seen that pure light.
Let me think on this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
This is great to see you.
Gotta go.
Yeah, she gives you a hug.
Oh, man.
Okay, so, Catherine.
She's walking through the city. But again, per usual, she's going through Kithki. She's not going the normal path.
She's not going past a certain hut.
Nope. And she is avoiding it like the plague.
A certain family hut. Might be your family.
Possibly. Is it family?
Well, blood. That is a very good question and a theme of the campaign. What makes family? Yes.
So she's gonna walk through the Kithki area of the city and walk through and try to find these two sparring. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that would be your normal.
Yeah, that's my normal.
That's your well-established route anyway.
I never take the main roads.
Yeah, so it's be pretty much you get to them. Make one last. You don't have to roll. Make a con check for me.
Con?
Yeah.
13.
13. Okay. But she was pushing you pretty hard. Like yeah.
This big con there.
It's so nice to be home.
Why am I not surprised that you two are sparring when we just had a journey and a battle?
Welcome back, Catryns.
Mm-hmm. Same to you.
Isn't it great to be back?
It's lovely. Yes.
What took you away so quickly?
My anger.
Anger at what?
This, and she takes out that journal that's wrapped. This is what made me angry.
She's gonna take the journal out of her hand.
Right.
This made you angry?
You don't understand what it means.
You mean the note from the lover?
It's not a note, and it's not a lover. They're drawings of my past. How?
Sit back.
If I were to have drawn your past, Would you not have been scared?
No, I understand, Catryn. It's quite spooky.
It is. And these are moments of my life that were massive. They changed everything. How was he there? How did he see any of this?
No more fighting? Okay. All right. We'll go away now. Yeah.
That's great.
She's like oblivious. She doesn't even care.
Ciao!
You had like resting mom face there for a second. That was amazing.
I felt it, but I couldn't see your face. Like,
That was good. That was good.
Catryn, I mean, there's something quite special, though. You have to admit.
Special about what? About somebody creeping into my life without me knowing? I don't know anyone that has any of the information like this. Like, I don't think anyone knows my past except you. From what I've told you, and Figulus, he's the only one, and these are images, and they're so intimate.
Maybe someone else needs to know your past, Catryn. Maybe it's worth knowing.
Not like this. She's gonna put the thing back in the bag. Figulus asked for you.
Figulus asked for me.
For you. He wants us together to see him.
So he can fight with me or
He
call me
won't.
names.
He won't fight with you. I don't think.
What is his request?
Just to see you.
Just to see me.
He misses you.
I'm very doubtul of that.
I don't think he is.
I'm just playing, everyone.
You want to love him so much.
He's lovable.
He's
Well,
lovable.
Just so happens that Weisa and I have decided to speak with Figulus.
Oh, good.
So
here
it
we
benefits us as well. I will not be beckoned like a dog.
are. Good for you. As you shouldn't. He is the worst. If y'all are done sparring,
Would you like another round?
Nilly, why don't we wait till tomorrow?
Take a rest.
Yeah, I think you need it.
And so the three ladies of the fellowship turn back around, make your way back through. Do you follow? Do Nilishli and Weisa follow Catryns' lead? Because she takes a slightly roundabout way, like it's a nicer walk.
Yeah, they
than the
follow.
main path.
I took the scenic route.
Yeah, the scenic route. Yeah. Okay. And you see this impromptu celebration is now taken on. It's now taken on a life of its own. It's picked up its own momentum, and you see more and more and more Kithki turning out. And they've started dancing. Somebody's trying to wrestle with the Gostra pole and put it up, even though there's no water. the slicked pole that they run up and down. No, you'll break your neck, you idiot! I know, it's gonna be so much fun. No, it won't. I have to heal, and then I'll have to heal you. So the Gostra pole does not, in the final analysis, does not go up, but they're trying.
It's like when Dorothy arrived at the Wizard of Oz. You know, right?
You just love a party.
So yeah, there's the Kithki quartet going on in the background.
If there is any dancing at all, Alba and I'm gonna grab Alba and dance with her.
Okay, she make a persuasion check with advantage. She does love you and she wants to celebrate, but she's on your son.
Persuasion would be 10.
Okay.
That was the highest.
Hubs, can we make it a family dance?
Of course.
Oh, come on in.
So she grabs, yeah. And your son Livius, who is in his 13th winter now, Marcus, he is still himself, but he is also more than what he was. You can't put a finger on it yet. You're too emotional. There's too much chaos. You need to sit with him. Yet you can feel something in him that just didn't exist before. I mean, he's always been fearless and physically very strong, but now there's another dimension to it. So the three of you, come on, Weisa, come and join us.
Oh, I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Okay.
With treats.
About that gets about 2 or 3 dozen screaming kithki going on. You're whipping them up right now. And,
I must have laughed.
and there's a chant that starts up of treats.
How many of the Pulix kids are chanting that with them now?
They look as soon as one of them starts up, they look at each other and it gives them permission, and they start up now.
Here we go, Weisa.
Catryns just gonna have a
They don't even know
smirk.
what they're really chanting for or
just
what
let
the
them
treats
have fun
are,
now.
but they're just chanting.
After the last 10 harrowing days of their lives, it's just like, it's good to have just some downtime.
Your brother-in-law Quintus wraps his arms around your sister Servilia from behind and just holds her, even though they weigh basically the same. He holds her close to him and smells her hair, and you can see he's smiling, but he's also trying to hide that he's weeping as the emotion just overcomes him. There's a lot of emotion right now. There's a lot of passion right now.
You're going to meet his eye nod.
You can't quite catch his eye, but
Fair enough.
you send your approval and good intent over there. So finally, your huge brother Servilius asks you, brother, what do we do now?
Well, first we take a moment, we take a breath.
And he's still holding his maul, but he just looks like he doesn't really know what to do with it.
I think that could be put away for now.
Yeah.
For now. Keep it close, but for now.
All
We're
right.
amongst friends.
He finds a potted plant and
Plants this.
sticks it in there.
I think it's some time to maybe talk to the kinfolk about seeing if they still want to be farmers. I mean, look around us. There's so much here. Maybe they want to be tanners. Maybe they want to work in the blacksmith. Maybe they want to be fighters.
Huh?
Time for a new profession.
You say so.
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
But for now, just go and be with your family. We're safe. We're sound. We don't have to worry about the Utini for a while.
Hey, I can do that. And as they're taking the Gostropol down, no, we're taking it. No, he looks fun. Keep it up. No, the chief healer says, absolutely not. And she vetoes that. It's not going to be you who are going to have to spend extra shifts here at the hall. So the three of you manage to walk out. The corporal watching the gate says, back out so soon.
Just for a little bit.
Right. Gate open. Gate open eye. So they have the dual handle that has to go up installed 30 winters back after the disaster of the Utini getting inside, which is still an unsolved mystery, by the way, of exactly how they got in. You go in out through the gate, walk, not the tiny little distance, over to the rickety hut.
Figulus, are we coming in or are you coming out? I don't know what that means.
There you go. You got it.
Grunt language. I love it.
The staff pokes out of the shutter, the spindly arm, and he's pointing toward the grove.
So we're not coming in.
Well, you're not coming in, but I assume these two are going to have to yap my ear off before I get them to leave.
That's true.
So good to see you too, Figulus.
Yeah. You're gonna keep them from viciously assaulting your beloved mentor this time, aren't you, Catherine?
Beloved mentor?
Beloved mentor.
Beloved mentor.
The staff goes back inside.
You don't even show your face. How rude of you.
He sticks his weathered face out of the shutter.
There you are. There he is. Getting some sun.
Pinch his cheeks now.
No,
So why did you need to see Nilishli?
them first. She didn't come along. She didn't come along because of my sunny disposition.
I think she did.
Well. Figgy, is it possible that we could ask you a question?
Do I have a choice?
No.
Okay, well, see, I appreciate the honesty.
Maybe we come in first.
She's gonna normally.
Now.
Okay, now it's open.
Okay.
Just for you, Donnie.
Look at that.
Traitor! Traitor!
Oh, hush. You
He-
know them.
He shambles over to the. Was trying to think of the correct verb. Shambles over to his. He has a broken down little lazy boy, which doesn't exist in this world, but you know he custom crafted a lazy boy. Plops down in it. Psh, a bunch of dust flies up. The hut's always its own experience for your keen sense of smell.
And I haven't cleaned it in a while.
Fresh news.
Yeah.
Dry
No,
skin.
you're really getting the hut experience now. So the new
Keeping a
shipment,
smile.
the big shipment of Arpo hide has some. He didn't do a great job of using the flint hide scraper on it. So some of the viscera is just kind of chilling on the hides, stinking the place up.
Just lovely.
You see the herbs hanging from ceiling. There are all these odd concoctions that are brewing or attempting to brew. He's actually pretty active right now because he's actually got a fire lit.
That's how he's able to do this special stinky water. It's really stinky right now.
There's some
That's a
things.
first.
This entire hut, though, Weisa, is just crammed to the gills with things to step on and break and trip on and damage and get screamed at. So you pick your way through it carefully. And he's got a desk at the back of the hut, which of course he defends vociferously that you don't touch it, that he's going to get to it. He's going to get to it any day now, and is collecting dust, and there are literal cobwebs that are over the desk right now.
Oh my god.
You've kind of worn him down on everything else, like in getting into everything else after you found him hiding things so often in the hut. But
So many times.
so he's plopped down. What do you need?
I'm gonna pull up a chair, sit across from him.
Stool, yeah.
Stool. Little stool.
Yeah.
Very little.
Little stool.
Here.
You have a couple
Pretty much
questions.
sitting on the ground.
Can you answer them?
I can give you answers, sure.
Will you?
I love a good farce. Try me.
He'll answer
true.
you.
Do you know who Roth is?
Are you looking a little more silver today?
Maybe.
Rough. Yeah. Yeah, sure.
And who is he?
She.
She.
Yeah, mistress of the bloody soil. Some ignorant people think that she is the evil counterpart of the Magna Mater, but actually she's just her. It's one of the deities that the Kingi, not Kithgi, that the Kingi worship. So, the offshoot of the Kithgi. They, like Kithgi, they do boring things like venerate their elders and cooperate, and the Kingi advance in their society through murder and mayhem.
And they're small.
Yeah, really good with poison, live a long time. Well, I mean, the ones who survive, like that. They don't have grannies, but they do have matrons.
So the Kingi worship this mistress of the bloody soil.
Oh, yeah.
Is she their main deity, goddess?
Depends on the era. Current one we're living in, I think so. Haven't been up in that neck of the woods in a long time and don't plan to again.
What neck of the woods is that?
West and north. Kind of butt up into a corner of the continent.
Above the lake?
More like diagonal.
Along the lake?
Off it.
Okay.
It's a journey. It's a journey. Why are you asking me about Kingi, though, and Roth?
It appears that Roth is here. Or near.
Look, there's only one god that I want to fuck with, and that's officially my dance card filled. So, if this is any kind of shenanigans, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to know about it. Just keep me out of it.
We saw a witch on our way here.
Congratulations.
Oh. And you've seen one?
Many. I might be looking at one now.
And did they not foretell anything? Haha.
He seems particularly pleased with himself.
She's still cleaning, by the way.
Oh, you're cleaning? Okay.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Are you fucking kidding me?
All right.
This hut smells like shit.
As soon as your back is turned and you're like a little bit further away at the hearth, and you're starting to organize the Arpo hide, he's like, Rego. And the Arpo hide creeps over toward him.
I know what you're doing. I can hear you.
No, you can't. I'm not doing it.
You know that's going to be gone by the end of the night.
No, that's just, you're hearing coughing. You're hearing an old man being depleted and battered, abused even. Abused. In my hut, in my own castle.
Castle? You call this a castle?
It's a magnificent chateau, woman.
Oh. No.
Okay, witch, prophecies, sure, some of them have the sight, right? Was she a dreamwalker? Those are actually kind of interesting.
I don't know. Was she?
Were you awake or were you asleep when she came to you?
Awake.
Oh, yeah, that's boring.
Oh. So then it's not a problem? We shouldn't be worried about it?
How often does Raph come this way? Into this terrain?
About once.
Ever?
For war.
War,
Death.
mass mayhem, natural disasters. You know, the fun stuff.
The fun stuff?
Yeah. What's interesting.
And you'd say that Raph shows up before the mayhem.
Or after. She's the chooser of the slain. So she gets her pick of the litter. What was it one of those witches told me once? It's something along the lines of, all death is a bitch, but I have pick of the litter. See what they did?
I see.
Bitch, litter, yeah.
I see what they did.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
I didn't like that joke.
It's good.
Neither did I.
Your sense of humor is getting worse.
Hey, fine wine, fine wine.
No, you're just getting old.
Nicholas, when was the last time that Raph was here? You said once before. When was that?
No. No. Nilishli, I've had quite the run. It's never been this far south. Or east.
But you said she was here once before.
No, this is it. This is the time.
This is the ones.
Mm-hmm.
Raph has never come this far south before?
As far as I know. Like I said, I had my hands full with the teal. I tried not to poke my snout into any other affairs. Any other deities. You're up to what, 3 now? Seriously, you gotta pace yourself. You're gonna wind up. It's gonna be a crowded house. This whole damn thing.
He's not totally wrong.
Oh, that's true.
If we were to...
Wait, did I just hear you admit that your elders had a little bit of wisdom? I just have to hear that again.
We shouldn't have come here.
You're not totally wrong.
Oh, what a concession.
Yeah.
What a concession. You have some emissary, some, I'm sure it's terribly important, waiting for you out in the glade.
Emissary.
For Nilly.
Emissary for I.
Mm-hmm.
Where's this emissary from?
West. And not very far. I wouldn't recommend you go there.
I sense that.
Unless you want me to kill her.
Too soon to say.
I mean, I prefer your face to hers, so it's this thing, people start coming around, they wear you down, you kind of start getting used to...
You like my face?
Did you say you don't like my face?
No, it's easier to tolerate both of your faces now. I'll just say, there. Well, I didn't have much of a choice. You've been back in my garden. Well, okay, your garden. That's all you. Yeah.
Here we are.
Yep.
Now he admits it.
I never denied it. It was just, I just...
No, it was always feed me, Catryn, feed me. And then here we are, my garden.
He does laugh a little bit. Yeah, okay, it kind of was like that. So, did you get that new recipe from the Touch Gems?
Oh, now you're interested.
Well, I want to know what...
Can we go back to the emissary?
Yeah, we
That
probably
is waiting
need to.
outside?
Yeah.
Oh, right, that. We can.
Do you have any more information?
You can't just send her blindly out there.
Sure, I can.
No, you can't.
Watch me.
Could you go with her, Catherine? Or at least watch?
Here, fine, I'll make the introductions. My God. he struggles up.
The man is awake.
And are you sure it was a mortal that intercepted? He's like he's mid gesture to lower the field of force to go out the door. Did you see her taking breaths? Breathing? You actually didn't. I mean, you were never close enough. You could notice that. You being Weisa could notice that, but she always remember in the description how she was always kind of carefully putting things in between you and herself. Mm-hmm. So it just occurs to me. Sometimes they skin ride. They get into bodies. All kinds of things happen. Honestly, I thought that's what you were at first, Nilishli. But
thank you.
Now you're, it's definitely an interesting. It's actually can be downright fascinating, with the right will working. But no, you're just basically an improved human. So
that was a compliment.
I reject that.
Oh, well, look, he's got really bad compliments, but that's a good one.
So, yeah, I was thinking about that. Okay. I don't know. Might be interesting. If you run her through, you could figure that out really pretty quickly.
Well, okay. So the emissary. Mm-hmm. It's already open.
And he so because he didn't check, he starts to wait. Did you not close this?
Did you think I was going to lock them in
Do
here?
you know what kinds of... Yes!
Why?
Do you know what kinds of things can come oozing through?
What's going to ooze through?
Sneaking through?
The emissary?
No, not that thing, but it can be...
Can we go?
Close the door behind you, girl. And he comes on down.
I'm gonna stay in the hut.
Oh, you're gonna stay?
Ooh.
Do we lock? Are you sure you want to stay?
Aren't I not supposed to go?
He says, either go back into the city or stay behind. Look, you're from this culture, so you understand. If she actually sees you, and there's no way that she has plausible deniability, then she's culpable for whatever she doesn't do. And I'm pretty sure they want your head on a platter at this point.
You know what? I need to go spend some lovely time with Publia.
See? She's just wasting away without you right now. She's rudderless.
Of course.
Without your presence, Weisa.
Of course.
Go on with your easily tolerable face.
Oh. This is the best.
So he starts creeping over toward the glade.
Don't mind his pace. He's a little slow.
Let's see. Yep. So, creeps over there. Hey, you! You with the weird haircut. And turning around, actually she was already in profile. This compact figure drops to both of her knees. And in High Valkyrie, you're still working on the nuances of it. So there's some of the honorifics and some of the non relationals. No, okay, better translation. Some of the non-punctuation, because High Valkyrie has those weird little pieces to it, Catryns, that don't exist in Daro, in your native tongue, that you're still kind of trying to fit and understand how they modify words. So in High Valkyrie, this woman drops to both knees, puts her head down to the ground, puts her forehead on the ground. Hail Naket Teodal, God made flesh. This one is overjoyed that you took her humble beseechment with endless and boundless mercy. Yeah. Get up. At once. And she pops up effortlessly. She looks older, but you have this weird moment because although her hair has as much gray as it does black in it, she moves like a youth. She moves with a suppleness and a balance that is, is more like a prime of life. All right, you got what you wanted. Let's see if it's what you came for, though. And he turns around. As we get toward the break, what position? So basically, as he's taken point, how are you standing?
So Fagulous is taking point?
Yeah, because he led you over to the glade.
He's not leaving. He's going to stay there.
He's about to leave,
Okay.
but like in that moment.
In that moment,
Yeah.
I think I'd probably be just to the side and behind Figulus.
Left or right? Right would be place of honor.
Yeah, I guess it would be on the right.
Okay, like a step behind me, just a step behind. All right.
I'm right next to her.
Like kind of triangle
Yeah.
with him. Okay. So she sees that, and as he turns to leave, what do you just hold your ground?
I'm going to stop him there. Can I stop him?
How do you try to stop him?
I'm just going to gently put my hand out on his shoulder and just...
Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
Let me see how much he likes the cut of your jib.
Pretty likes it.
That's going to be a 18.
Okay, so as soon as he turns and you start to move, you hear "Rhett," just without even a thought. You know it was about to happen. And then whatever that tingling is relaxes, and he actually lets you touch him.
Okay. I'm going to say, Figulus, will you introduce us to the emissary?
You don't need me for that.
Will you stay longer?
Nah.
Fabulous.
And he turns and shambles off. She as this woman looks at you, gives you a deep, unhurried bow, and then she takes and I'll describe when we get back what's on her back. She takes the rather impressive item that's on her back, and she begins to draw a circle. And that's where we'll pause. All right, thank you all, and we will see you in roughly 15 minutes.
Awesome.
We lift our voice to greet the rising sun. Your splendorous touch burns away the dark. With a soft golden hue, your world is made anew. We follow the path you've laid.
And we're back, and hopefully you are as well. Bad host, bad GM. I forgot that we were doing a giveaway this week, so I got a little swept up there. So here is the trivia question, and if you can answer it in the chat while we're live streaming, first person to answer it correctly wins a lovely Darkeport mug. Ooh. And if you'll put that, yep, there you go. Thank you, Vanna.
It comes with a straw.
And then if no one gets it in chat, then the first person to leave a comment wins it. And the comment should be open basically, it takes a while to download. But anyway, whenever the comments open up for this video. All right, and the question is, this is for some people it'll be super easy, for some people it'll be like, what the heck is he talking about? But we're trying this out. So the question is, what is Lady Vale's full name? In fact, it was even said this episode, which was not trying to do deliberately, but there you go. So what Lady Vale's full name? The character, the Emerald Tressed Warrior Woman, Patrician Warrior Woman who traveled with them from Pollux up to Juramentum. And now we revisit our characters. And so, as you can see, the tables...
Candle of Tales.
The Candle of Tales is happening. And there are only 2 of the Fellowship who have returned. What could this mean? Dun, 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 dun. What could this mean? No, this is just so that they have a chance. So we have a chance to do a deep dive with the limited time available for us. And this is going to be something that may repeat itself. So this implement she has is the length of a spear. And then at the end is this almost serrated, although not quite, but it's knocked and cut blade of glistening, wickedly sharp obsidian. And it has a slight curve at the end, giving her tremendous reach with this thing. She's only about your height, but she has way more reach than you have with the hatchet or even with the staff because of that extra, chunk of blade. And of course, that for the Urilit, obsidian is both their sacred weapon material, and also, practically speaking, can be sharp, can hold an edge sharper than steel. Now, against heavily armored opponents, it's not the best, but against what you would normally encounter in the Urilit culture with leather and such, and not a whole lot of metal there, it would do just fine. You could take somebody's head with it. She finishes. Bows to you again. Hail, Aski Tioru. I have this honor. I'm to bring you this weapon, this tool, whose name you will tell me, perhaps, if I'm lucky. Will you do me the honor of stepping inside the circle? She steps back to one edge.
First tell me, emissary, who is it that you represent?
You know who.
Is it Roth?
No. I must be disordered. She actually does look at herself. I apologize if I'm in a state of dishevelment. You see, she's wearing almost priestly robes that are a very, very light gray. You would call them almost a twilight gray. So there's like a hint of light to them. The linen is fine, but otherwise she's completely unadorned. Like completely unadorned. She's holding this instrument. Neither of you have ever seen its like before. This is not a common weapon in Juramentum. And you kind of search through. I'm going to try not to make too many rolls for this, but go ahead and make a religion roll and see if there's a memory that surfaces.
Oh.
Now remember, Allie, you're gonna get it at the end.
Okay. It's a 5.
It's a 5. Okay. So there's something that kind of tries to start percolating up through the layers of the mind. It doesn't quite resolve yet. Something in the way, especially when she was making the circle with it. She never moved from that spot, by the way. She still has the flexibility of shoulder, despite her age, to just turn it in a complete circle around her. And the play of the muscles on her back, which you can see because of the cut of the robes. Like I said, compact but very strong. Aski Tioru, demigod. That's what you are. There was debate. There was consternation in the homeland, in our blessed home, about whether or not you constituted that. Of course, the answer is clear. If anything, you were at least as much as the others that we have recognized that way.
Well, I thank you for this honor of recognition. However, I'm no closer at understanding whom you represent. Is it my creatrix?
Indeed. As I have represented her my entire remembered life.
It is an honor to meet you.
More than an honor, a culmination for me. Thank you again. And she bows thrice. My title is Oekapa.
Can you spell that?
Sure. I'm gonna spell it phonetically, and then I'll give you the Ural spelling later. O-H E with the accent mark. Kappa, K-A-P-A. Oekapa. And since obviously both of you speak High Valkyrie, it means she who bars the way. She also did not give herself any honorific or acknowledgement at all, so she's addressing you in a very plain, humble fashion. It's hard to some of the nuances is hard to convey in English, but yeah.
Okay.
You have a companion, Domina.
Hi. This is Catryn. She's been on many journeys with me. Will worker and friend.
Is she also Aski Tioru?
No.
Then you're very, very in the esteem of the Dread Mother, that you would be allowed to walk in her footsteps or alongside her. Lamentably, I cannot give this to you, although it is yours in my estimation, and in the estimation of she who reigns in the dark, yours by birth, and you can hear the question mark at the end of that. This glade, this is not where you were created.
No.
Close, though?
Close.
Make an insight check. No, I need to make sure for clarity's sake to name. Go ahead.
17.
You catch a whiff of real regret. You don't know why, but in that sigh. She easily pirouettes it above her head, comes back down in a slightly different stance. I must ask you, Domina, to either move me from the circle or move me in the circle.
Is this to be bestowed with my rightly honor? Or is it merely a show of strength?
It's nearly time for her to watch. She looks up at the darkening sky.
Okay. I'm going to take a second here and I'm going to whisper to Catherine. Can she hear if I'm whispering? Can she hear quite well?
You don't know.
Okay.
Do you want to step away? Do you want to go maybe to the edge of the glade?
Yeah, I think I'll say.
Okay.
Have you learned Ilocana? Has she learned other languages, I'm sure, or no?
Not Ilocana.
No.
So it occurs to you, maybe I should start teaching
Cool.
Nilishli.
Zing!
Next time.
We're going to be doing that.
I'm going to say, Oekapa, thank you. May you give us this moment to discuss.
You, Domina, have all the moments you would ask.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to step just outside
Okay.
what feels like hearing distance.
Sure.
Catherine,
What is happening?
I think that this is some birthright. Part of me feels this in my bones, but I cannot understand if this Oekapa means me ill intent.
I wonder if it's just a test, like it was with Figulus. To see if you can prove yourself. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
If she does recognize me as demigod, then maybe I am stronger than I feel.
I wonder, what if you kill her? Can you kill her? Her respect for you runs severely deep, but I don't know her intent either.
Can we feel like anything in the air, any sense of intent?
Which way? How are you extending yourself to try to catch that?
Arcana check?
Okay. Mechanically, how are you picturing Nilishli opening herself up, or where does she direct her intention?
I think that she's going to, for a moment in this conversation with Catherine, briefly close her eyes and feel into Dread Mother and ask her, with her eyes closed, Dread Mother, does this emissary of yours mean me harm?
A single sentence sounds in your head. She comes at my behest.
Okay.
And like it is when you ask directly, which you don't always get answers to, of course, you more feel it than actually hear it in your bones.
Yeah.
Did it feel aggressive?
I mean, I feel like Dread Mother always feels aggressive.
Always aggressive. Shit. Thought I'd try. I didn't know if it was like, oh.
She's intense. She always feels intense. Okay. All right, so...
And by the way, that would have been, for someone who was not her construct, that would have been a point of cold damage.
Yeah.
When she's just having her voice in you starts to kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, God.
And she's going to open her eyes and look at Catherine and say, I must do this. I must remove Oekapa from this circle.
Well, I am here if you need me, but I don't know if I can be part of this.
Thank you, Catherine. I think it is something I must do alone. And then, at this point, she's going to walk back.
Oekapa has dropped down to both of her knees. Her eyes are closed, her posture sublime. She has this instrument of destruction laid lightly across her lap, resting in her hands, not possessive, as though she is hardly worthy to fully hold it in that moment of repose. But across her opened palms. She senses you, or at least she responds. She must be quite aware of her surroundings to have caught you that far off. Her eyes snap open, dark eyes that hold a lot of secrets and a lot of winters in them. She rocks up with an effortless grace. Is the decision made, Domina?
Oekapa, the decision is made. I shall I shall move you from the circle.
You shall try. and up, tip on the ground. She steps back and she waits.
Okay. I feel like talking to the room at large at this point, if Nilishli is doing this, she's going to do it for real. So
Do it.
I feel like at this point, her first move is outside of the circle, she's going to activate her shadow armor.
All right. You reach out, you call upon the shadows, and it's getting easier now because twilight is nearly there. The Lord of the Dawn Star has nearly handed the day over to your creatrix fully. And as you cry out, "Rah!" This time the shadows come from the ground. Oekapa seems completely unfazed by this. Not so much as a twitch of the eyebrow. And she just remains motionless as a statue. You feel it, though. It's in place. These shadows wreathed around you.
Catherine, from the distance, she's staying where she is because she does want to be able to see you, because if anything does go wrong,
Right.
she's going to be there to... She's got your back.
She's there as backup.
Yeah. But she's also looking, because it's turning night, correct? For any danger, because that would be fucking awful.
Okay.
To have to deal with Utini and this.
Oh, yeah.
But if she can, she wants to meditate into the Eternal River and kind of see what she can see in this moment.
Okay, that'll be a bit, but yes. Okay. All right. Describe to me how you come at her.
Okay, so at this point, I'm just outside the circle.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm...
Maybe 10 feet across. Sorry, it's small.
Yeah.
Fairly small.
And at this point, I'm going to walk into the circle slowly. I'm going to... would I get if my action is shadow armor?
Well, you had time, so...
I had time,
yeah,
so okay.
You had time.
All right.
You'd prepared beforehand.
All right. So I'm going to withdraw my sickle.
Okay.
And I'm going to slowly approach Oekapa and kind of like take athletic stance, like standing there facing off, like observing her own stance, which I'm assuming is very poised, very calm.
It is.
Not giving much away.
It is. It's actually, she looks more like a dancer preparing for a routine than she does a fighter bent on mayhem. Mm-hmm. You do notice she makes a very small adjustment on her back leg to your angle as you come in, just small, and you wouldn't have caught it in the heart of a melee, only because this moment. And in fact, Nilishli, you're finding even your senses are getting dialed back in, almost like when you were first born, when you first erupted from the ground. Not too much though, because you are hardened now. But you can feel the wind on your skin. You can hear the rustling of the leaves as the air sows through the trees around you of this glade.
Okay, as I kind of center in.
The tension builds.
Tension builds. At this point, I'm going to...
Her breathing remains rhythmic.
Rhythmic? Okay.
Rhythmic and easy.
I think at this point, Nilishli is going to... She's game on. Like, if she's doing this, it's on. And the first thing she's going to do is sprint.
Okay.
Sprint.
Okay.
Oekapa, and try to ram her, avoiding the sickle first because I'm aware that this is an emissary for my creatrix.
Right.
So I'm going to ram her with my shoulder, with all of my force, all of my might, to move her out of the circle.
Okay. You come hurtling forward with considerable strength and speed and superhuman resiliency at this point. You know the blows you can take. And even though the circle seems small, this must be what happens with Titus, and you don't know if this will ever happen again in your life. But everything starts slowing down. The breath running through your body, your steps, a leaf blowing by. The first painfully slow, unnaturally slow wink of a firefly in the distance. And then, and you barely feel a tap at the back of one of your knees, and you're hurtling out of the circle.
Okay. This Nilishli is going to pop back up.
You roll, and yeah, you roll.
Pop back up.
And Okapa says, "Thank you very much, Domina. I will see you again when the handoff between the Lord and the Lady is occurring." And she sits down. And she begins meditating.
Oh my god. The audacity. Okay. At this point, Nilishli's like she's a little irritated. Someone's like trifling with her, her strength, her power, her skill.
She drops back down and assumes that meditative position again.
Okay. At this point, Nilishli's gonna again sprint as fast as she can, even with more strength, tenacity, and speed than she previously did. But this time, she's gonna come from sliding down on the ground to try to push her out with her feet.
Okay. Almost like a slide tackle.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a 2 foot to the meditating person.
Right. Okay. And now you've seen a lot of the Myrmidon train. You saw Sergeant Emilius in full flight when he was just hacking down the Bazaret left and right. None of that prepares you for what you see. Because as Nilishli begins her dive, this woman seems to levitate up like smoke rising. Levitates up, the legs come out, and before you even have a chance to get the slide tackle through, she has somehow, Allie, tangled that damn haft in your legs and has you spinning out of control. And this time, because you did keep yourself very low, you're not fully out of the circle, but like part of your arm is out of the circle. And you hear her say very softly, you can barely make this out, "You grasp your rage like a hot coal, and thus are burned by it." And then, eyes close, she settles back down. You do notice she has taken up a position facing you this time as she settles down. And she begins to meditate again. And you can feel the invitation to come back at next twilight if you like, or you can continue.
Nilishli's absolutely like in the space right now of fury. She's in fury.
Yep.
So she's going to continue, and after she slides to just inside the circle, she's going to like push back up off her knees. And at this point, because she's feeling so angry, she's going to cast her first spell.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yes. I mean, it's just what she would do.
No. That's fair.
Right.
That's absolutely fair.
And you made her mad.
Yep.
Now,
Nilishli is not to be trifled with.
I think what she would do as a first spell is Ray of Desiccation.
Okay.
She went all the way.
Okay. And pain.
Ray of Desiccation and pain.
Are you putting the pain part on there too?
Ooh, I don't know.
Or is it just the Ray of Desiccation?
I think she has enough deference and respect that
it's just Ray of Desiccation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Describe it to me. Give it to me.
Woo! All right.
You can feel your blood beginning to boil. You can feel the pulse in your. I mean,
There's
who is this person?
There's beating fury. My heart is pumping. There's rage building in my chest by the almost just like treating me like a fly, like I'm not even there, and she has to do so minimal effort, and I feel this like rage building up in me. And at this fury pours forth from Nilishli, and she's like, "Rah!" And she puts her hand out, and she is going to shoot this almost lightning bolt style energy beam to this woman on the ground, to Oikapa. And
but gray, but like in grays and blacks.
Grays and blacks.
Yeah. Okay.
Can't remember if we had blue in there, but I think it's grays and blacks.
There's an edge. Yeah, there's like a dark edge of obsidian now.
Okay.
If you put in the pain.
Okay.
But you're just doing the base
I think I'm just gonna do. I'm just gonna do the rare desiccation.
Okay.
Okay. So
almost like little energy spikes.
Yeah.
That come out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's gonna shoot just from my hands, and I have to roll.
You can roll to hit. Go ahead.
Please. Descotly. Ooh. What do I add to that again?
+5.
Basic math, 23.
Okay.
Nice.
At the end of all of this, I'll explain the mechanics. So you blasted. I mean, you went dead center. Actually, with that roll, where are you aiming for? Because you can place it exactly how you want it.
I think that I would probably place it for an arm.
Okay.
An arm. I don't want to kill or hurt her.
But force her to drop.
Force her to drop.
Okay. So you know this is true. You know that even like with even with the old lion, even with Titus Invictus, who you fought, you know even he would have been slammed by that.
Yeah.
And that's a formidable creature. With their eyes closed. And it deflects off into the trees. And you see it wither the branches and the vines there, and they come crashing down.
Oh my god.
Catryns gonna scream.
Okay.
Maybe just ask her to leave the circle.
And like with this, she hears Catryns' voice, and she's just like almost lets the fury kind of simmer down for a second. And she looks at Oikapa, and she steps into the circle.
Once you're looking at her, her eyes open.
Okay. She's going to step into the circle, and she's going to position herself on her knees and say, Oikapa, I have lost my temper. I apologize. May you move from this circle so I can claim what is rightly mine.
It sorrows me that I cannot. It sorrows me. You have nothing to apologize for, Domina. Only aim your anger, aim your rage at problems, not people. May I have the honor of your presence at next twilight?
Aye, you may.
Thank you very much. And she stays bowed for a good while. Actually, she stays that way, leaned over, probably until you get up and leave. She is showing you, she's obviously a priestess of some kind. I mean, by the robes, by the demeanor, by the training, and you're familiar with the Urlit culture. And the priestesses have a high status in the Urlit civilization. She is showing you an ungodly, or maybe a godly, deference. I mean, by holding the bow, by only making eye contact when you choose to, that's all of that. And yet she is not bowed. Both are true. It's a dichotomy.
All right, at this point, Nilishli stands up.
Okay. Brush yourself off.
Brushes herself off and looks at her opponent for one last moment, questioning. Looks at Catryn and leaves the circle.
All right. Time passes. And it is now the Ides of Tuea, which the people in Juramentum, they believe that the Ides are bad. And remember that on the Ides, there is no bright moon. So it is a moonless night. As you come back in, and depending on what happens in the other sessions, there may be some other back and forth. So this is the experimental part. We're going to have to do kind of a timey-wimey thing. Ooh. So keep track of... She's used to this. I already put her through this.
It's been a journey.
Yeah. So kind of set in place, Allie, where your character was at, like on the day that you came in, and now you're on the odds and that sort of thing. And we'll see exactly how this finishes.
So then it's been officially 2 years. Officially.
For her. Well, will this be year 2 for her or year 3? Because she was on Awakening. I think it was Awakening 2. I think it was 2 Awakenings ago. Mm-hmm. So you're almost 2.
Okay.
Now, I think
almost 2.
Yeah, I think that's where we're at. You're 1, 2, 3, 4. You're 5 days shy.
Oh, wow.
So your naming day is coming up. Yeah.
Your birthday.
Yay! I'm 2.
Throw a party.
So you come through. You probably tell Weisa about this, or not. Actually, I'm gonna let. So she gave you a couple lines, a couple things to simmer on or to sit with. What do you do? Because the two of you are the most involved in each other's daily life. Actually, for the audience, do you want to describe what's been going on for a little bit?
Yeah.
That she's been in the garden, etc.
Technically, I guess ever since you've been created, you've been living in my garden. Mm-hmm. And so I've been reading to her, and we've been learning from each other. And it's really just been this kind of like information overload friendship that's actually been really great because we've just been together. And for Catherine, that's a huge thing because she doesn't have a lot of friends and she stays pretty close within the hut essentially, but because you live there, it's an option to go out and like mingle.
Yeah, and it feels very mutually beneficial because Catherine is so learned in many ways that I'm interested in.
You're learning a lot about the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think in her head too, from that moment, she's going to start teaching you Ilocana.
Yeah.
And whatever other language that I know. And because you are so young, I feel like you pick it up pretty quick.
You don't know yet.
Hopefully.
You don't know. You don't know what rules apply to her.
Ah.
Go ahead and write down, though, that on the Ides of Tawea, 2776 is when you started learning and teaching, respectively, Ilocana, which is the tongue of the Kithki. Which would be good, because somebody from the Urlit civilization probably won't speak that.
Yeah.
The word for blessed home, for basically the capital city, is Teowani. Teowani is the name. Its name. So when I'm saying blessed home, she's in, like, if you were in real life, if you were listening to this, you would hear Teowani. I don't want to clutter it up with too much Valkyrie when there's already a lot going on. Okay, so in that context, how are you approaching this, Allie? How are you sitting with it? What are you examining? I mean, her form is, she is more skilled than any person you've ever seen before. You actually didn't know humans could be that skilled. Mm-hmm. And yet you sense that she is still just a human. Mm. She's not Asketiotl, she's not chosen. Mm-hmm. Which is something.
Yeah.
That's a life. It's a grandmaster's lifetime of perfect dedication.
Yeah.
To it.
I think Nilishli would be reflecting on maybe how her fury and her rage was a bit misplaced at the previous battle, and how in the upcoming that she can focus more on being a little bit more nimble and allowing her fury and rage to transfer into something else, which is to really apply herself to understanding how she can move either through sheer force or dexterity or through trickery, remove Oekapa from the circle.
You think back to when you sparred with Weisa, who's much smaller and frankly weaker than you are, and how she tricked you into stepping into a mud hole and nearly got you, because that was a very even fight, you know, not this last bar.
Yeah.
You know the arbor too well. You're not there's no way to trick you in the arbor because you're there all the time.
Yeah.
But that's where your mind goes to.
Okay.
So that day passes. Probably some other things happen, but or not. And you come at twilight. And as far as you can tell, she has not moved an inch. I mean, surely she must have throughout the day, but you can't tell. Even you can't see a difference. And that's saying something.
Do you think we should have brought her some food?
I do not know that she eats.
This is so odd. Okay.
Hello, Oe Kappa.
Ave, Domina. Hello, Aski Teodol. Blessed eve to you.
Blessed eve to you.
She's up on her feet. Then.
I have come for our second round of battle, shall we call it?
You have come to claim your birthright. Your creation right? Forgive me. I do not know the proper words.
Turns out neither do I. But tonight we shall move again. I have thought on what you have told me. Perhaps I had too much anger in our battle last night, and I will try again.
The burning coals have become smoky embers. More dangerous now, if I may say so. Very good. You can sense she wants to say more, but restrains herself. And then, not as sharply this time, more languidly, drops back with the same effortless grace into that dancer's pose, with the haft up, the point down, the tip down, waiting. This time you see a detail that you missed in your anger, that her elbow is held in close to the body for more structural support, better leverage. So she's not having to use any energy here. It's literally just letting it hang there. She could hold that pose for hours without anything. What do you do?
I think again at this point I will activate my shadow armor.
Okay. It's right there.
And as the shadows come up and wind themselves around me, usually it's accompanied by a fury, but this time it's more accompanied by a soft, more collected knowingness. And
How does she verbalize that? There's a verbal component.
Normally it would be rah, but this time it's more of coming from the stomach, and it's more of like a.
Okay.
It's calmer. It's more collected.
The shadows actually come faster.
Oof. Oof.
Because you know how they usually have to wind and layer and all of this? This time they're just like a double helix up your body and wrapped.
Hey. Good to know. Okay, and at this point, does she notice anything else about the way Oikapa is poised that suggests vulnerabilities?
Make a roll.
Yes.
+5?
Not for this, no.
Okay, 15.
I'll let you add your intelligence to this.
Okay.
You don't have tactics. So 16 for you, because
16.
16. You should, with that roll. What you see instead is the way that she turns her shoulder to distort your view, or the way that she's actually not motionless, but her right heel is picked slightly up off the ground, and the ball of her foot shifts and moves every time that you're looking. So she's constantly giving you a subtle but different look, almost impossible to evaluate, because she's always changing the variables.
We just like collect her and like bring her back. She can fight with us. It's fine. I can't.
Okay.
Something goes off in your head that you had just pushed aside. You remember the tales and the seemingly over-the-top ballads about Titus Invictus and his prime. And you're beginning to see totally different fighting style, but you're beginning to understand what they always talk about, the through line. Of course he was powerful, of course he had the chosen essence, buoying him up, but his level of precision on a battlefield was like a machine. And she's the furthest thing from a machine, but you're beginning to appreciate what that might have looked like, wed to that just ferocious power and chosen ability.
I think as she's standing just outside the edge of the circle, still at this point, she's gonna slowly walk up to Oikapa. No run, no fury, a slow, balanced walk. And she's going to lift Oikapa off the ground.
Okay. So you're reaching for her?
Yeah. It's more like I'm so close to her already, and that it feels like a very quick, easy lift.
So as you come in, you have this almost farcical moment with each other, where she's sluicing and mirroring you. So however you're moving in, she's just sliding around you like water.
Okay.
And so you have this slow speed chase, the slow motion chase going on.
Oh my god.
In the circle.
And like Nilishli is like feeling like she's about to get frustrated, but she's focusing on her breathing instead to really keep that measured and keep the rage under control.
Make a wisdom check and see how you're doing with the rage.
What do I need to add to this?
It's -2.
Oh.
Because you're a baby. Because you're a baby.
Okay, it's a 3.
Okay, without you, you never do identify the moment that it happens. Because one moment you're breathing, you're fine, this is fine. Rah! And then the hand comes out because you're just and you don't abandon your plan, but you're just trying to do it. You're just trying to do it with force.
Yeah.
And you feel the familiar cleansing rage coming up. And then as you come in, your arm gets tangled in this haft. She never pits any of her strength or weight against you. That would be folly. So as you come in, she steps back, describes almost a complete half circle. You spin through the air, and land.
And yeah, Nilishli's so angry, and even though she knows she shouldn't be angry, it's almost like because she knows that she needs to be measured and controlled, it's making her more angry.
Sure.
That she's not.
Sure.
So she's going to take a second on the outside of the circle and sit down. She's going to be on her knees, and she's going to close her eyes and follow her breathing. And she's going to hear the night sounds around her. She's going to tune into the breath of Catryn, the sound of whatever animals or creatures are around at this point in the night. And she's going to bring herself back to center.
You hear Oikapa take in a long breath as you're centering yourself. And she says, perhaps to you, perhaps not. Perhaps to no one in particular. A storm is coming. So, you come. Time passes. You're not entirely sure. In fact, you kind of lose track. It doesn't matter. You come up. It's dark now.
Can I make a perception check to see what storm she's talking about?
You may. Actually be a nature check.
Or a nature, yeah. Ooh. 23.
You know that some of the sailors and some of the old hands at the fishery can feel weather coming well in advance. This is beyond even that, but even you would be hard pressed, Catherine, to name exactly what it was. But your gut tells you she's right, that there is some storm brewing, like some literal massive storm, and then probably also a metaphorical storm, but that you already knew. Thank you, Rolf.
Yeah.
But how she can know it this far out, you're not sure.
And there's nothing. Well, it's night, so you can.
Yeah, it's night, so you can really you see it. Perhaps in the morning, you can catch something.
Okay.
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 So you're back up.
I'm back up. I'm calmer.
You hope.
I hope I'm calmer.
You feel that thread. It's in your DNA.
Yeah. I'm at least trying to control my breathing. There's a more measured element about it and a slower motion to my movements. And I think about the fact that this Oekappa is probably human. / I know she's human. And I think that it might be effective for her to feel the full terror of what lies in the void of meeting my creatrix. So I...
No, I love it. Let's go.
I sense her mortal.
She is, yes.
As good of a warrior, as balanced as she might be, there's a
frailty.
There's a frailty. So I am going to use Dread Presence.
Okay.
Just outside the circle.
To try to force her from the circle.
To try to force her to take steps back.
Right.
To end it.
How far does that reach?
Dread Presence is...
It's about 10.
Yeah, 10
Oh,
feet.
okay.
I think,
so not where I am?
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
No.
It's 10 feet, yeah. Do I have that right?
So...
Look that up real quick. I'm listening.
Okay. So I'm going to invoke Dread Presence, which I don't think is accompanied by a yell. It's more accompanied by a... intensity.
Yeah, no, this is not. Yeah, this one's not a yell.
Yeah.
This one's just pure intent.
Yeah. So
it's not really you doing anything. It's just you getting out of the way.
Yeah. I almost feel as if I'm standing there and I'm making a mental note to Tezcatli. There's a dry irony of, I'm battling your emissary. Let's see if she can handle your wrath. And I focus my intent on Oekappa. And I feel a shadow lengthening around me and a darkness coming from around me. And it's lengthening and ballooning towards Oekappa. And I'm single-pointed focus on her as this rises and it goes through the ground and meets her.
You can feel her mortality.
Shit.
You see her, and in the trickery, in the trickery of the night, Catherine, Nilishli seems to swell even larger.
Oh my god.
Thank you very much, Askitil. It's so beautiful. Please excuse my tears. You are so beautiful.
Nilishli's shocked. She's just shocked.
You can see her.
Say anything.
She's quivering. I look forward to meeting you. When the Dread Mother and the Lord of the Dawn Star next hand off the day. And shaking a little, she sits down. She sits in the shadows. And she weeps. You can hear her quiet sobbing at the beauty of it.
God.
We got a psychopath on our hands.
Lady!
Rekindling, ladies.
Oh my god.
The next day is rekindling. Neither one of you are members of the Church of Light, so you do not care that it is rekindling. But it seems to be a big day for most of Juramentum. There are probably shenanigans with Titus Metellus and Lady Vale. There are probably other things that are happening over rekindling, because they're both going to meet, of course, at the church.
Yep.
The day passes. And On your way out, through her sobs, you hear her, and you think this is directed to you. She says, "Any person capable of angering you becomes your master."
Okay.
All right. You come back for a third visit, my dear. Your teeth actually start aching a little bit because you've been around your creation right. This thing that should be in thy hands, by any estimation. This is the part of you that's divine speaking. And yet, here, this mere thing of flesh and blood, this tiny thing, she's hardly bigger than Catherine, is preventing it. You come back. She greets you again. Deeply.
And I think I reciprocate at this point because I have such a deep respect for the way she handled our last encounter.
When you are enraged, study your own failings.
Thank you. I receive. I'm not enraged now.
No, you're not. Can you find the balance point between heaven and earth, Nilishli, creation of Tezcatli? Can you find it?
Where do I find it?
Where all balance points are, at the center, and only therein. She takes an inviting step back into the circle. This time she just has this at a loose on guard position or at ease position. Comes back. How much more grievous are the consequences of unchanneled rage than the cause?
Grievous.
Grievous. You have in you a terrible seed. A seed of destruction, if you want it to be. If you allow it to be. For you to walk this earth, for it to mean anything, that seed must sprout under thy hand most carefully and powerfully. My third regret in coming to thee is that I do not have 20 winters to show you my path. I don't, and she smells again. I don't even have 20 days.
Are you passing? Swiftly, soon.
Move me from the circle, Nilishli, creation of Tezcatli, or move me in this circle. I await you. And now she drops back into the same pose.
I think now at this point, she's going to do anything she can. She's going to step aside and seek Catryns' input.
Yeah, sure, of course. There's a reason she's here.
Yeah. Catherine, how would we move Oe Kappa in the circle or from the circle?
I wonder, and I don't know if this is silly, but if she means to move her in the circle, to tell her something important, or a feeling, I don't know.
What if we moved her in the circle or from the circle together?
How do you need my help?
Well, if you come at her from behind, and I come at her with my strength, we could pull her from the circle.
Okay. What do you want me to do from behind? And will she allow it?
Do we get a sense of if this little trickery is permitted?
You feel like this is something you're supposed to do unaided.
Okay.
And I only say that because you are what you are.
Okay. Okay.
Can I get an idea of why I'm here and why Figulus wanted me to be here with her?
Make an Arcana check and make an Insight check, because you have had a chance to study the Eternal River now.
17 Arcana.
Okay.
Where you at, girl? Oh, that's not so good. It's a 2. Where's Wisdom? 6, 8 Wisdom.
The psychology part of it you're not sure of, Catherine. But as you've studied the Eternal River, which is to say the flow of mana that pervades everything and is everywhere and is what the gods use to create everything. What you see is that the weapon that this woman is holding, this tool, has a very distinctive pattern in the river, and it actually does bend mana around it a bit. At the same time, she seems human, all too human. They're just on, as far as the Eternal River is concerned, she's just another pretty face. Just another aging face. There's absolutely nothing remarkable about her at all. You go back to when you were sitting in the garden, and what she had said about the embers are more dangerous comes back to you, because you've been sitting with us now for like 3 days. And you can feel the anger and the frustration. You can feel the placidity of just fully grounding. And you start to feel maybe something else.
I start to feel something else in me or in the air? In me. Can I make an insight check as to what that is?
You may.
Woo!
I love it.
It's -2.
Oh, well, that's pretty good. 16.
See, I told you. It's always at the end.
Yeah, it is.
So you sit with it, and one of her phrases jumps out at you. Unfocused rage. You know that there is no brute force overpowering her. You've tried that in many different ways, even smart, tricky ways. It's not enough. And you know that there is no if this is a word, out-subtling her, using subtlety to outdo her that way. She's got decades of experience on you. Mm-hmm. But you're starting to feel some other third option. Where the embers of that cleansing, because remember, you've described it as a cleansing rage before. So you kind of have an emotional palate cleanse, as it were. And the last 3 days fall away. And you start to feel something very small, but like a pilot light, Allie, goes on in your heart, at your center. Not actually your heart, at your center. What do you do?
Ooh.
Are you feeling it? Can you see? You can feel that.
I can feel it.
Okay.
So, as something goes on at my center, I think I'm feeling more of like this, like there's a fury, there's a rage there, but it feels like contained. Is that right? Is that an accurate way of describing how I feel?
It's close.
Okay.
You're still, remember, you're only 2. So you're still figuring out, this is some deep stuff. You're still figuring out exactly what this is. And you can feel it, but you can feel yourself exploring and learning in the last 3 days, maybe as much as you've learned in the last 2 years, compressed.
Okay.
You're going to be unpacking these days for a while after
Yeah.
this event or after
Yeah.
these encounters.
Yeah. Okay, from this place, I'm going to tune into and try as best I can to learn and ask, maybe from my intuition, a place of intuition, what is the next best option for me?
And what you see, I'm still writing off of that. What comes up for you is a raging river, channeled into a tight path, into a tight, precise path.
Okay.
And you feel that light come up a notch inside of you, as if to say, ready.
Okay. Okay. So as I feel that light activate in me, and it feels like it's like I'm more dialed in.
You are.
Okay. I'm going to try again at sprinting top speed into this circle to Oikapa, and with a lowered position, like lowered a little bit further down onto the ground, so I can't be thrown off balance, and coming at her more from from her center point as well to throw her off balance. I'm going to sprint, eyes focused, everything focused, no rage but channeled to her.
Okay.
To push her out of her spot.
And as soon as you start moving like that, you feel a forest fire inside of yourself, but it doesn't burn you. It warms you, it powers you, it soaks into your divine construct frame. You see her start to move differently. She lowers herself. I assume you're fine with following your instinct at this point.
Yeah.
You feel your body urging you to move, and instead of charging, you start this kind of unusual, like loping step as you're going, never keeping continually in motion, never a straight line, but also not a circle. You start in on her, and welcome to your first rage.
Oh my god!
That's awesome.
Roll to hit, baby.
Ooh! It's like a present. Okay. Rage. 11 plus
Plus 5.
16.
Yep. And bonus to the damage. Okay, right. Okay. This time, when she hits you, again, like smoke, isn't there. She tries to sweep your leg behind the knee, but that knee is already in motion as you're springing, as your weight is shifting, and you come at her. She connects with the haft, and you do feel it, but everything right now, it's almost like that shadow armor has somehow seeped inside you. And you feel the blow doesn't have the power that it should have behind, or at least you're not registering it. You go for a second strike. Go ahead.
20.
20?
Well, it's not natural 20, but it's
But dirty 20?
20.
Okay.
Oh, dirty 20.
So you come up and you do something tricky. You drop the sickle. You come in like you're coming in for the sickle. She begins to respond to the sickle. Then you just drop it and you slam into her.
Yes.
And you actually hear her laugh with joy. Now, this is important. When you find that even though you spiked into her, that somehow, and I'll describe it to you in a second, that you somehow, the world went topsy-turvy and you wound up on your back outside of the circle anyway. What do you do? What's your immediate first reaction?
Immediate reaction is to...
You steal her, and you hear her laughing in joy.
My immediate first reaction is to let that rage propel me again into the circle. But this time, it's with the intention of throwing her out of the circle.
And as you reach, so she actually managed to twist like a cat in midair and throw her off. You start to reach, she slides with you. She's beaming. You see tears running down her face as she takes you into a wrist lock and flips you over. But she doesn't let go. She shifts it and she holds your hand.
Aww.
And you see the tears just coming down her face openly. I had never thought to see two wonders welded together. And she's trying to help you to your feet. She drops the haft. Not out of disrespect. You clearly feel it's no longer hers. One, a creation of the Dread Mother. And now, two, that same creation who has found her own flame. Thank you.
And Nilishli's like so moved for maybe the first time ever to hear these words from Oe Kappa that she embraces her tightly back.
And you can feel now how small she is. She's small. She whispers to you, do not look back in anger. Do not look back in anger or forward in fear, but around in awareness. This I wish for you, if I can wish anything. And she squeezes you. Let's go. Please forgive my tears.
You are forgiven. You are brave beyond measure. It has been an honor to fight with you.
May I ask a final favor of you?
Anything.
This will take perhaps a torch? Do we have the time?
Yes, for you, Oe Kappa, I have the time.
Thank you very much. Nilishli, creation of Steskotli. She sits down. She reaches into some inner pocket, and she takes out... You have seen this before, and you have memory of this. She takes out what the Urlit used to write. And it's a very soft, pounded bark that's been made supple. And she takes out from another pocket their small writing implement, which has no ink. It's a knobbed pen. And she begins to make the indentations and the little circles that are the writing system. And she sits and she composes for a while. While she's doing that, is there anything in particular you want to do?
At this point, where is the weapon that she's using? Has she put it down?
On the ground.
On the ground.
Next to her, still in the circle, but near her.
Okay.
But she has clearly relinquished it.
I think at this point, I would just be sitting with her in the circle, in silence.
And about a torch later, she's written very little. I mean, she pauses, she mulls it over, adjusts it, and then finally, so it's now in the dark. This is on the moonless night. And almost like Braille, she's reading it now with her fingertips. Not all of them can do that. You know that. Yes. Yes, I think that will do nicely. Spring's gust, yet I have no more business in this world. She rolls it up, puts it on the ground next to the weapon. In the end of the favor, Nilishli, creation of Tezcatli. And so I imagine you like sitting almost behind her at this point as she's just staring into the dark.
Yep.
I killed 2 of my sisters to bring you winter's harvest. My life was, of course, forfeit the moment that I touched it. I am not a demigod. I am not ASCII Teodal. And yet when the Dread Mother beckons, all her priestess can do, all I have ever sought to do, since I had memory, since I had thought and sentience, is to answer her. Would you do me the honor of sending me on?
How, in what way would you want to be sent on?
She looks over her shoulder.
I will do you the honor and send you on. Is there anything else you wish to say in these final moments?
I never thought to be so blessed. I have said everything there is to say, and she gestures lightly to the bark parchment.
To the bark parchment? Can I move towards the parchment now? And unroll it? And do I get a sense as I'm unrolling it of if this is like okay with her that I read it?
It's absolutely okay.
Okay. I'm gonna unroll the parchment. And where's Catryn, by the way? Are you?
Oh, I'm standing. Yeah, I'm sitting down.
Okay.
Maybe on a rock or something.
Yeah. Okay, so you're just like observing this.
I'm just observing.
Okay. Do I get a sense I can read this alone, or can I ask Catryn to come over as well? It is the final moments of her.
It is the final moments. You feel she has turned. She's responding to you like a goddess now.
Okay. So I can.
You will do what you will.
Yeah. Okay.
She's accepted you as judge, jury, and executioner.
Okay. I'm gonna call Catryn over. Catryn?
Are you sure?
I think so.
So she's gonna walk towards you.
Okay. I'm gonna unroll the parchment.
The air feels humid.
And I'm going to read, presumably, or is it more touching the parchment?
You do not have that skill yet.
Okay.
So you're gonna need some light.
Okay.
Oh, hey. Guess what?
Catryn, can you produce some light?
Lux.
There's a soft light there.
Very soft light.
Okay. So I can make out what the parchment is.
You can make out. And you read in High Valkyrie impression. Spring's gust, yet I have no more business in this world. It's her death poem.
Okay.
And spring, of course, to the Earlet is the time, as it is for so many ancient peoples, where life is renewed and you affirm your existence. And so, among other things, it will take you a long time to get through all the layers of this poem. As I said, High Valkyrie is very dense, and there are probably multiple meanings you don't get on a first reading. But here she's remarking on the irony that when life is ascendant, she has stepped back. Or perhaps not the irony. Perhaps irony isn't the word. We don't know yet.
Mm-hmm. Do I get a sense of anything deeper from these pages itself? Is there any sense where... is there any sense that there's like a deeper meaning to this that I can understand now? If I sit with it?
That is a mystery you will have to contemplate.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
But yes.
Okay.
You can't imagine that a woman this layered and this deep wouldn't leave some trace of that behind.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have badly misjudged her.
Okay. I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to roll up the parchment.
Okay.
Back up.
You have it. Where do you put it?
I'm going to put it in my cloak.
Okay.
In my pocket. I'm going to look at Catryn. And look back at Oikapa, who
She's still
faced away.
staring. Yeah. Perfect poise. Her breath is as still and is as rhythmic and balanced as it was the very first moment you met her.
Mm.
There is a supreme dignity around her.
I'm going to ask Oikapa, are you sure? Is this the time?
If laws are not obeyed, none of them mean anything. And I'd spent my entire life guarding winter's harvest. And then the night came that the Dread Mother told me it was time for it to re-enter the world of man. And so I brought it. My sisters understood, but of course were also sworn to stop me. And so, regrettably, I had to take their lives before they could take mine. I loved those women. I still do. Perhaps they will forgive me. Perhaps not. It doesn't matter. You are what matters. Her business here. In the world of man, is what matters. Nilishli, creation of Tezcatli. Do you understand?
I believe so, but why is this winter's harvest important to my mission here?
Beautiful daughter. I don't have that answer, but you will.
What is the will that you have for me next?
Forgive me. I do not laugh and jest. Just the idea of me telling you something.
So if I understand correctly, you took this weapon here for me. You killed 2 of your own sisters, and now your life is forfeit.
And took it from her temple, yes. In the heart of Tiawani, yes. And snuck past the guards, yes. Employed treachery, deception, bribery. All those things are of the world of man, and all of them ergo irrelevant in her sight, so that this weapon could come to you when you were awakened. Had you touched it last night, had you touched it 2 torches ago, it would have been meaningless to you, perhaps even harmed you. Now you're ready.
I cannot thank you enough for bringing me this namesake, this weapon. I feel that it is unfair payment to end your life now.
Oh, sweet child of winter. No. It is a release. Blessed, blessed release. And she puts her forehead to the ground in front of you. And then slowly pulls herself back up. And she faces to the east. She'd been facing west. Tell me of the place you were born, if one as lowly as I can ask.
I was born not far from here, on a field in Juramentum.
A field that must have seen great sorrow and sacrifice.
Indeed.
Great duty and courage, or you could not have been born. Ah, forgive me, Mother, for ever questioning you. Yes, I understand now. I had foolishly wondered, why did she send her creation, her splendid creation, so far from Tiawani, so far from home? But now I understand. Strike me swiftly, beautiful one, if you would, before I lose this understanding and my own foolish heart reasserts itself.
Okay. Nilishli's gonna pick up the winter's harvest.
A shudder runs through you. Yes. There's a presence in this weapon, in this duel. You will reckon with that another day.
Okay.
But it is there, and it has made itself known from the very first moment you pick it up.
Okay.
And by the way, Allie, it knows its name is Winter's Harvest.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. I'm gonna hold the weapon and feel whatever it is I just felt in my hands.
100 generations of temple guardians, of ferocious, dedicated, subtle, sublime, quiet, bone-loyal women comes flooding into you. And you know exactly how to use this fucking weapon. You've never seen it before, but you know exactly the angles to take, the heft, the balance of it. You were literally created around it. Or perhaps in response to it. That you do not know yet.
Okay. Okay. As I let this kind of sink into my hands and my sinews recognize and my muscles recognize the feel of this.
You catch glimpses of a much younger Oekappa. Picking up a similar weapon, not this weapon, but a similar weapon at the beginning, at the first time she set foot in the temple, the beginning of her training. Keep going.
As I see those images, I can't help but be moved because the person in front of me who just basically beat me in every way that I have so much respect for, I'm now seeing younger. I'm seeing a life, and maybe for the first time ever, I'm feeling the appreciation of life and the responsibility that comes with it. And all that is weighing in me, and I feel all kinds of emotions I have not felt before, like sadness, nostalgia, respect, just all of these human emotions that are just rushing in. And it's from that place that I lift up the winter's harvest. And I make my strike.
And you reap.
I reap.
And that's where we'll end it.
Ooh.
I'm debating.
Catryns? Wait a minute. I'm just like, what the fuck?
I normally, as those of you who have seen us before know, I normally do a quick recap or kind of processing session. You know, what moved you, whatever.
Essential processing, right?
Right.
I'm going to forbear, and I think, unless I don't know how Yeah, let's forbear.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
forbear. Let's sit with
leave
it.
you all with it.
Yeah, leave you
all with
We'll
that.
we'll leave it there. Thank you for giving us the greatest gift that there is, which is your time and your continued attention and thoughts. We appreciate it more than we can say. Keep safe out there. Take care of yourselves and stay curious. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.